in the spirit of Easter, celebrate my because of the Easter eggs, we're gonna and the bunny ears. We'll say something cute about, spring, egg hunting. All right, here we go. Let's see. Let's put a cute little backdrop. A big old cute cat. A lot of fun. I play it a lot off stream. All right. Can Ironclad beat Slay the Spire with only strikes? All right, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Can Ironclad beat Slay the Spire with only using strikes? Greetings, gentlemen and ladies. Welcome back. Today we have quite possibly the most difficult challenge I have ever attempted. The rules.
Oh, this should be interesting. Oh, you've watched it? Well, no spoilers, Pikachu's. No spoilers. And now you get to watch it again. Lucky you. Yeah. I mean, Ironclad is already, he's already decently strong on his own. So with trust strikes, I wonder how he'll do. I wonder if he'll do only strikes or is any card with the word strike in it fair game. I guess we'll see.
Are simple. We are only allowed to play cards that have strike in them. That means every single skill card and power card are not allowed. And because I wanted to make this challenge even harder, relics, events, and every potion that would otherwise allow us to play anything else are also prohibited.
Oh,
now, you
no
might be
potions
asking
even.
yourself, Brad, what? And I hear you. I've attempted this challenge with well over 100 attempts. But
Over 100
is it
attempts?
possible? Can
Ouch.
we do it? With 5 diverse, tricky challenges behind us, at the very least, we're going to give it our absolute best. So, sit back, get yourself comfortable, for it's time. Time to climb. Climb time! Before we embark on our journey with the Ironclad, I'm giving away 2 copies of Slay the Spire 2. Details at the end of the video. Let's do this, guys. We are greeted with 4
Alright.
choices. A colorless card, enemies having 1 HP in the next 3 encounters, removing 2 cards for our gold, or switching relics with the boss one.
Given the nature of this challenge, oh hey there, Lego, you're back just in time for our next video. Yeah, we're watching another video about Slay the Spire now to see if the Ironclad can beat the game of only strike. In this instance, if I were him, I'd pick this. Give yourself a bit of an
The
edge.
colorless card was mostly obsolete. Our starter relic, allowing us to heal 6 every combat, was too valuable, which leaves removing 2 cards or having 3 1 HP combats. I checked the map, and it shows us a high likelihood of a free elite. I opt to keep our money and go for the free battle instead.
Yeah.
Defeating the first free encounter gives us a perfected strike.
Oh.
Whilst I know the card isn't great usually, for this challenge, it's exactly what we needed. And it's quite wholesome that with the
How serendipitous! That's the perfect card that he needs for this challenge. Because I think in Spire 1, Ironclad has a lot of cards with strike in the name. Specifically to go along with this card. To get this right off the bat, I wonder if he'll get other strike cards.
right parameters, even the less favored cards are able to get their shining moments. Talking of shining moments, we definitely do not up. At least one of them is a strike, but come on, Brad, we know better than to flip that coin. Our second question mark event is the Ooze, which after 2 attempts awards us Omamori, a relic that's value is determined by the timing of its acquisition. And let's just say this relic enables something vital for us in the near future.
Oh.
Next up was our first merchant, and we have 3 viable options here: card removal, wild strike, and or potion.
Oh, he got Wild Strike. If I were him in this position, I would get rid of a card so I can cycle strikes more often. As for picking a specific seed, you can only I think you can only do that in custom games, but you can't earn achievements and stuff in custom games. Otherwise,
Well, actually, you see, you can only do special seed in custom game.
of course, you do a glasses redeem when I'm doing explanation. Yes, but yes, anyway, like I was saying, if you do just a normal game, you can't pick the seed. You can only do that in custom. So yeah, I guess the seed is there if you want to like practice or something. I don't think he was doing a custom game though. I think he was doing. If I were him, I would get rid of a card. That seems pretty. No, don't capture my nerd voice.
No, don't capture the nerd voice. Please definitely do not do that. No.
Oh my goodness, gravy. Let's see what he does next.
As Wild Strike has the word strike in it, our perfected will gain power from it, though it's not my favorite card to play with due to the wound it gives us. I settle on simply removing our bash for now, hoping for the twin pommels in the future. The next question mark event is to Purify, removing a defend for us. And our free elite was the Sentries, gifting
these
us a
guys.
stone calendar, a fantastic relic, though us living 7 turns in combat without being able to defend will be few and far between. Our final charge of 3 battles was used on a Jawworm. He had one of the strikes we are always happy to see, Pommel Strike. This
Almost right. Pretty good one too. Oh my goodness, excuse me.
not only does good damage, but gives us card draw and empowers Up Affected as well. The Cultist welcomes us next. We take 6 damage and can't complain at the Elixir Potion drop. Relic
Ooh.
chest number 1 had a really nice support relic, Toy Ornithopter, allowing us to heal 5 HP every time we use a potion. I briefly considered the 3 paths towards the boss before
Because he got the toy bird. I bet he's gonna get the energy relic that prevents you from getting poked.
settling on the additional merchants one. The Slaver and Louse greeted us next.
Oh.
It was important to deal with the Slaver first, as his damage output is higher than the Louse, even if it attacked again and didn't buff. We take care of him next though. They drop a Dexterity Potion, which is still 5 HP thanks to our toy, and another Pommel Strike. This
Ooh.
was a great start to our run, but let's not get carried away. We are still far
Yeah,
from what we would
yeah.
need
So
to
far, so
even
good,
have a
though.
chance yet. A random merchant surprises us next, and no! Oh, Red Skull.
No.
If only we had the gold.
Oh, and he was 10 gold away from it too. That happens so darn often, doesn't it? Being just slightly a bit away from what you need. We can't afford the skull.
There were other options, but with another merchant coming up, I decided to hold off for the potential of better purchases.
Oh.
Big Fish greets us yet again here, and thanks to Omamori,
Oh.
we could obtain the relic Free of Regret. And what a fantastic relic we got. Old coin, 300 gold added just
And he could have used that one floor ago, couldn't he?
for a merchant. Now, for the first rest site of the run, and not much time was needed here. Perfected Strike being upgraded gives the card 8 more power and even more for the future. We finally arrive at the merchant, coin in hand. I consider the relics carefully.
Ooh.
Lantern had good value, but it was only on turn 1. T-Set also had similar constraints. Hand Drill would allow us to apply Vulnerable to a solid selection of enemies, plus nearly every single boss, including our first one. Fire Potion enables us to counter bad RNG for the Guardian, and a card removal was what I finally landed on. Approaching our
I heard that the drill is a pretty weak relic. In this challenge, I can see it being pretty useful. Off to a good start so far.
second rest site, I decide on healing to full health before we step into the boss of Act 1. The Guardian. We both have a generic strike and shield turn 1, and with him at 9 block, I hesitated on playing the Pommel
Ooh.
Strike as I wasn't 100% if it would apply the vulnerable on exact damage. Thankfully, it did, which we followed up on with our Perfected Strike dealing 45 damage. As we were at full HP, I didn't hold back from his defensive thorns, taking
That's pretty
18
good.
damage here,
That's pretty
and
good luck
a
there.
further 22 in his last turn. Unfortunately, our hand wasn't ideal for his Guardian form here, managing to deal 24 of the 40 damage required to push him. As taking another bunch of attacks, we're left with only
Oof.
20 health. I play Pommel into Perfected for optimal damage, and thanks to a lucky shuffle, we see it again the following turn, allowing us to lead the fight with 14 health remaining. Without the ability to gain any block, things were looking a little scary, to say the least. We
yeah.
pick up the 99 gold and skip the card rewards. Now for the relics. Snecko's Eye, Astrolabe, and Cursed Key. With the majority of our cards costing 1, I didn't like the coin flip on Snecko. Astrolabe had such a low chance of changing a card
Oh yeah, yeah. If you have a bunch of expensive cards, I do see how taking Snecko Eye can sometimes be helpful. I personally don't like to use Snecko Eye, because more often than not it screws me over. I can't tell you the number of times I've had Snecko Eye make my entire hand cost free energy. It's annoying. Some people like to take that chance though. But for a challenge like this, when all your cards cost 1, except for the one you need, you think that he has the Omamori? Is he gonna go for the key? I think I can't remember. You love Snecko Eye, even though Snecko Eye got you killed. You still like Snecko Eye. You know what? Fair enough. I do see the fun factor. Just like anything else in Slay the Spire, when it works, it really, really works. All right, Pikachu's, I feel ya, man.
and Cursed Key. With the majority of our cards costing 1, I didn't like the coin flip on Snecko. Astrolabe had such a low chance of changing a card to one that we could actually play, so I looked to the Cursed Key. We do still have 1 Curse Negation available, and an extra energy will no doubt come in handy with the card draw from our Pommels. As I stood praying for an Orichalcum, we check the map identifying the merchants, rest sites, and question mark events before beginning our ascent of Act 2. The Shell Parasite. This guy has some big
Oh.
attacks that are going to hurt.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what's that? Is that a shield I see? We exchange blows R26 for his 12 and then bam! 45 damage.
There you go.
I use our Dex potion before finishing him off for both HP and to open up a free slot just in case. 17 gold and a
Well, that there's a good use case for the drill then, isn't it? And he has 1 curse negation left, so the curse key isn't too bad. He got very lucky with getting the Alma Mortal.
Future Ascension 20 challenge was put off for now. The first question mark event of the act gives us an altar, where we exchange 20 health for 5 max HP. A worthwhile trade for sure. Next up was the Chosen, who goes down without any problems at all, giving us 17 gold for the hassle. We then
Oh yeah, because normally a chosen is a bit of a headache because of her hex spell. But you know, if all you're doing is attacking, you don't have to worry about her hex at all. That's nice because normally the mystic gives me so much trouble. Like, when all you're doing is attacking, you don't have to worry about getting hit.
get to a cathedral heist and look for a place to launder our newly acquired money. Quite the selection was on offer. Not today, Boots. Blue Candle with our curse key had a consideration, and Brimstone was too. But without any defense at all, the lines I was thinking would all result in death. I pick up another perfected strike, remove a defend, and after a lot of back and forth, procure the regen potion as well. Floor 23 had the snake plant, and whilst it only took
no.
2 turns to get down, its one attack did 21 damage to us. We're going to have to play
snake
the
plant
map well
sucks.
going
Oh, yeah, he
forward.
hits like a
20
truck, I hate
gold
him.
gets picked up before we move into our first rest site of the act. I considered healing, but with a regen potion, I decided on upgrading our perfected instead. Now was time for the Centurion and his granddaughter. Regen potion gets
Granddaughter?
used immediately.
The builder interpretation of these two. Me personally, I always see these two as a pair of traveling sisters. Yeah, I always see this one as like a giant female soldier, but you know, an elderly warrior with their granddaughter. That there's an interpretation I haven't heard yet. But how about that? It'd be just like the Spire, right? Imagine just trying to go for an outing with your granddaughter, and then this dangerous psychopath wielding a blade suddenly charges in, right? It's gotta be hard living in the Spire when you got people like Iron Chad running around just making day harder for everyone. Me personally, I see them as sisters. Like I know the helmet is Snake Eyes, but my brain just instantly translated to eyelashes and to ponytail. So I think, oh, that must be a female knight, because you see, she has eyelashes. That means she's a girl.
We then send our pommel and perfected before taking 20 damage. The Tin Man goes down while we get up to some naughty mechanical shenanigans to keep the Mystic permacasting for our sweet regenerating gains. I nearly pressed Whirlwind when I saw it, with a lot of
Oh, because of the upgraded whirlwind too. Oh, it's gotta hurt turning that card down. Oh no. The things you gotta do for a challenge, turning down really, really great cards. That's unfortunate.
pressed Whirlwind when I saw it. With a lot of unplayable things behind us, it was time to get a relic that would enable our victory. A legendary chest. Let's go. It's going to be... I'm hyping this up too much, aren't I? Not again, Owen. Time for the Chosen Cultist. I make some smart, logical choices of distributing damage, and thankfully we own
Frozen egg. Normally a pretty nice relic, but not when you're doing only attacks. The game tried.
takes 16 damage from these two. A Niche Potion gets picked up as a fine button of utility. My neighbors could hear my war cry from having to pass on an Impervious though. Heavy Blade. We then stitch our scars before my recent Baldur's Gate playthrough reminds me not to be so trusting with a vampire. I opted for another battle next. Another snake plant.
Well, look, Astarion is Bay, okay? I would trust him with my life. It tempts everybody. That's the danger of the Spire.
We pommel into strike for vulnerable application, then send our perfected, bringing it down to 25.
He had to face 2 of the malleable plant, dude.
Want to take another 21 damage here, especially with the boss coming up, so I use our energy potion. I don't know if it was a smart play with the fights coming up, but it made sense to me here. We defeat it, replacing our now empty slots with an attack potion, before yet again skipping the card rewards. The final question mark event had a relic chest, and that's going to be a problem. Because of Curse Key, we would now pick up a curse. Do we skip the chest? I could never. 27 gold and a smiling mask. A fantastic relic. Better than you might think. You see, with removing cards being so important, especially with the key, locking our merchants to a 50 gold fee allows us to keep more of ours, which
That is serendipitous right there. That's pretty good, right? Oh no, no. I'm not the one playing. We're watching someone else play it in a challenge video. Yeah, he's challenging himself to play Ironclad with only strike. You know, so any card with the word strike in it, he's playing.
Which means more relics or potions. A solid pickup for sure. Having used our energy earlier, the last rest site allows us a pommel upgrade, increasing our card draw to 2. Okay, it was now
Lovely.
time for the boss of Act 2, the
Oh,
Collector.
the
Things
Collector.
start off well. We potion for health and find a Twin Strike, which
Ooh.
adds 3 damage to our perfected strikes for this combat. I play them all before his summons enter the battlefield. I wanted the Stone Calendar to take them down, but 32 damage being inbound, we wouldn't survive their
Ooh.
attacks for long. Actually,
Yeah.
we wouldn't survive at all here. I pommel strike twice, bringing the first minion into fire range. The question of Elixir was on my mind. I lose toy value for sure. I remove them both, but allow their attacks to go through.
Ooh.
Next turn, we get double perfected. I strike the second minion, fire the first, and send our last one into the boss.
Ooh, is he gonna survive that battle? That's gonna hurt. Oh no, gosh, I'm not a great player. No, not at all. Now.
The health remaining. Strikes for debuffs, and again, for 27 damage in
Ooh.
return. He now buffs himself up with a 15 shield and 3 strength. We
Uh-oh.
would die next turn. Fatal damage was incoming. He has 41 effective health. Perfected does 27. Twin and our upgraded strike do 6, totaling 39. We were 2 damage short.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
he's shielded. Vulnerable. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Stone
wait.
Calendar also had our backs.
Oh yeah, see, he forgot about the drill for a second there. Oh, he just barely clutched that. He just barely clutched that. Wow. Oh wow.
If we
Maybe he
failed.
can pull this
I
off after
definitely
all.
knew that. We pick up 102 gold and reject Impervious for a second time
Ooh.
before it was time for the relics. Philosopher's Stone, Runic Pyramid, and Sacred Bark. Giving enemies strength from the stone was not going to happen. Runic
Oh,
Pyramid
okay.
has been very useful in some of our recent challenges. And finally, Sacred Bark. It isn't something I usually play with, but the more I sat thinking about it, there were many lines that would be open with multiple potions. 40 damage on Fire Potion, 2 duplications, 4 strength. The only
yeah.
caveat would be finding
Yeah,
these
Bark is a
instead
very
of
good
power
relic.
potions. I pick it up. Act 2 was now complete. The
Nice.
elephant in this room is that we have no block. We were naked. Merchants would be required here. The map of Act 3 was rough,
And
to
he's
say the least.
facing Deku and Donut there. And Deku and Donut are already extremely tough bosses. You know, the easiest of the Act 3 bosses, but still very tough. I wonder how he's gonna do it.
Every single merchant is on the side of the unavoidable flaming elite.
Oof.
Not good news at all. But with 325 gold and a sacred bark at our side, we begin the dangerous ascent of Act 3. The Darklings greet us, all attacking from the start. It was
Oh.
important that we focus our first strikes on the outer enemies, as the middle one
Taking 26
never double
damage off the
attacks.
bat, dude,
The
that's
back
rough.
one goes down as we take 17 damage in return. Next turn, I make a massive misplay. I pommel strike first, drawing 2 cards and forcing a shuffle. I then play 3 normal strikes in a row. Can you tell what the misplay was? With 4 cards in our draw pile, if we had used another pommel, we had a 50% chance of drawing a perfected strike,
Oh,
allowing us to avoid
no.
10 damage entirely and take some health off the middle goop as well. We
Oh no! Oh, that's rough. That's really rough. How many times I've lost a run because of one misplay? Everything's going well. Everything's perfect. But you played the wrong card at the wrong time. Is everything about to go tumbling down? Oh my gosh.
take the 17 damage. And would you look at that? The draw would have been the perfected. So taking some extra consideration for our draw pile was noted down for the future. We perfected both attacks and show that the lesson had been learnt by finishing them off correctly. 14 gold gets added to our belt before we are shown the Wild Strike. I sat doing a lot of lines and math here. The wound wasn't good, the damage was. And our perfected gets increased as well. With 2 pommel strikes in deck, I decided to pick it up. I'm still not sure if this was the correct play. Now for the first merchant of Act 3.
That's quite a gamble there. It's quite a
There
gamble.
are some juicy relics here. Dead Branch is very fun and broken in a general playthrough. Meat on the Bone is solid too, and pellets are a personal favourite of mine. The first 2 are simply too expensive, and the pellets aren't usable. I remove the regret and settle on picking up the regen. There's at least another merchant coming up, which tempered my concern. Floor 37 had the Shade shapes. I made sure
Oh,
to
geez.
play every single card correctly here.
There you
Not this
go.
time, shapes. Not this time. They drop a Forge Potion, which
Ooh.
is one of the only potions that is completely unaffected by Sacred Bark. Next was the Spire Growth. I thought it wasn't going to be too
And that's just how it goes. That's just how, like, I swear the game knows what you're going for and goes out of its way to give you everything you don't need.
problematic, but with us getting constricted, he took half our remaining health
Oof.
before I could finish it off. No rewards to note either. This merchant had to have something incredible, something that would give us the motivation and inspiration we needed, especially with the Flaming Elite not long away. And I couldn't believe who we were about to see. Just as we thought his saga had concluded, Lee's Waffle was there for us when we needed him
Waffle!
most. Kinda. It would leave us with 101 gold, which is enough to get a fire potion and removal, but looking at the options, memories, fire, and removal would probably be best here. No, it definitely would. What was the right choice? After last week's insanity, I
If I were him, I would go for the waffle. Like, you're low on health, my guy. He does take the waffle, right? I really hope he takes. Oh yeah, exactly. Star cards and Inspire 2 are also another example. Yeah, like oh, I see you have all these cards for gathering stars. Let me make sure you never get Stardust, or you get Stardust at the very beginning. And guess what cards you never see the rest of the run? Cards that give you stars. It does feel intentional so much, all that bad luck. Even if just even if truthfully it's just confirmation bias, right? Something like that. But yeah, bad luck can feel personal in the game like Slay the Spire. Wolf says the Lee waffle is based on a coworker who brought a waffle maker to work and made a waffle for everyone. Oh no, made a waffle for lunch every day. Oh, that's a cute Easter egg. I didn't know that. How about that? They brought a waffle maker to work, and that was memorable enough to put it in the game. It's cute. I really like that. You gotta love a little tight knit, a close knit team like that. Oh, thanks for sharing that, Wolf. It's pretty cool. Let's see if he takes the waffle. Take the waffle. You gotta take the waffle. You need the.
pick up the waffle, fully
Yes,
healing
he
our
takes the
32
waffle. He took the
HP
waffle.
and moving us up to 92. With our remaining gold, I thought about removing the defend, but liquid memories would be vital. After we pick it up, we go to the rest site and choose to upgrade our Pommel Strike. The Winding Halls remove most of Lee's contribution, and the Sensory Stone had only one card that could be useful. It was not worth losing health over. Now for a relic chest, which will include a curse if we open it. A legendary chest. We had to see
Ooh.
what was inside. Mango! 14 extra health to play with is a very welcome
mango.
addition indeed.
Mango's worth a curse.
Curse-wise, Wraith is probably one of the easiest to deal with. I've never had mango on waffles before, but it sounds good. Flawful
Mango and waffles, it is pretty good, actually, really good. Yeah, you wouldn't think tropical fruits that would taste good on a waffle. I've tried it before. It's not, you get some sliced mangoes, a bit of whipped cream on a waffle. It's pretty good. Actually, I think most fruit in general tastes good with a waffle, because a waffle on its own is a bit plain, a bit sweet, But fruits add a bit of sugar, a bit of punch to it, and whipped cream on top of it. Now I'm just making myself hungry there, aren't I? Okay, never mind. Stop talking about the waffle. Stop talking about it. Or otherwise, we'll get too hungry.
44 had the Transient, a very manageable enemy for our challenge. His first, second, third, and fourth attacks were all negated, with his final one effectively being negated too. Okay, this was it. The Flaming Elite. The heads and regen.
Oh, no.
Oh no. This was not a good
Oh,
matchup in
no.
the slightest. I immediately looked to our potions, knowing that if we wanted to get through this, they were definitely going to be needed. Turn 1 starts with a pommel into a perfected, before the head begins his weakening. We then double strike, applying the snail for our perfected to deal a little more damage. Turn 4, I used our forge potion, upgrading 3 strikes, then sending them into him. With 4 stacks of slow now applied, I decided now was the time to use our memories, as both perfected strikes were in our discard,
Ooh.
playing them for a total of 104 damage. With 218 health remaining, his big attacks were now unavoidable. I make a risky double pommel play before sending our perfect. Take 30 damage. Wild Strike had to be played here, no exceptions, bringing him down to 91 health.
Oof.
I did consider using our regen potion, but held off, knowing it probably wouldn't have done enough anyway. Take 35 damage. With With 98
Ouch.
health remaining, we play everything we can, bringing the head down to 34 and making its grand debut. Stone Calendar finishes the head.
Oh wow. Okay, that is very lucky. That is very lucky. Yeah. Ooh. Gosh, that was me at the edge of my seat there. That was incredibly lucky. He held out just long enough for the stone counter to activate. He's
Gosh
getting there.
darn, that was brutal. 19 health remaining, 2 potions used, and all I could think of was, did Lee's Waffle unironically stave off death once again? Rewards were something. Eternal Feather would no doubt be a positive, but how would we play the Fear Potion on the donuts when they have artifacts? A problem for Future Brad to solve. Now onto the card rewards, and another Wild Strike comes up. Regardless if we would play the card or not, adding more power to our perfected strikes was good enough for me. The immediate rest site had me pondering the Ruby Key. Now look, let's
Oh no. He's not thinking of going to Act 4, right? He can't possibly be thinking of that.
not do anything hasty here. I come to my senses, healing up to 61.
Good,
Floor 47 had the more, with 300 health.
Oh.
I don't hesitate in drinking our regen potion, striking furiously. I know it has a big attack coming up. A couple more turns pass us by before it was here. I pommel, drawing itself and another strike, and then 2 more. I play one of them and a wild strike, but it wasn't enough. At the very least, regen got relatively decent value here. We pick up 13 gold and no cards. The final question mark event was now upon us. It was a merchant.
Oh.
We only have 82 gold. Let's see what he has. Oh man, I wanted them both. Block potion and duplication were both amazing. We could effectively
Ooh, a tough choice there. He's got a really tough choice. Or he might get the energy potion.
skip a turn on one of the donuts with the block, or if we draw both perfected, get one down quicker. I wish we had more gold, but a choice had to be made. 24 block, 2 duplications. I pick up the duplication potion, and regardless of the result, I think it was the right choice. One final, get your pointer away from that key. Rest. Whether we win
good
or
choice.
lose here, just getting to this point is a victory in itself.
Exactly.
Now it's time for the final boss of Act 3, the donuts. Firstly, how many turns do we have? They deal 104 damage in 4 turns, and that would usually be lethal, but our toy will give us 10 extra HP to work with, so it's now 5. So with that,
That was some professional editing right there. That's some good professional editing.
Pommel shows us 2 wild strikes, and whilst 34 damage is solid, the wounds at this point would not be, as with 6 cards in our draw pile, we had an almost guaranteed chance of playing 4 perfected strikes next turn. Our labour bears fruit with a 5 HP heal and 156 damage over to Donu. Turn 3 was important to play right. I strike Decker to clear an artifact and send our perfected plus strike into Donu. Being able to defeat Donu here
Alright.
was big, not just because
yeah.
we avoided 32 damage, but because it would mean an extra turn was available for Decker. I perfected and pommel, though I should have pommeled
I
first.
took Donut
And
out. There we
after
go.
checking our draw pile, decide to leave our wild strike for a shuffle prioritization. 32 damage was inbound. We clear his artifact, immediately playing our vulnerable potion, unloading the rest of our strikes to him. He had to deal 193
Ooh.
damage in 2 turns. There was no fairy in a bottle. No decapitated lizard tail. Only strikes could save us. I pommel. Check the draw pile again, assessing our wild strike capability, which was strong, before sending our last couple next. 147 damage.
Ooh.
So far, I have posted 5 successful challenge runs, and
no.
there's been an ever-increasing amount of support for showing a failed run or 2 in the mix as well. I hope this is okay to do. In the future, I pommel and wild strike, bringing him down to 107 health, then perfecting him to 49. What turn is it? It's turn 7. Stone Calendar deals 52
Wait, did he
damage,
do it?
and after more than 100 attempts, over a year of randomly trying this challenge, with some of the best relics in
Wow.
previous runs to mix, in this one, I finally
Oh, how
achieved
lucky,
our
how
greatest
lucky.
challenge yet. Whew. Thank you so much for watching the video. I can't believe we did it. I was jumping up and down after
Stone
getting this one
Calendar
done.
came in
If
clutch
you missed last
again.
week,
Wow.
I am giving away 2 copies of Slay the Spire 2 for its release as a small token of thanks for the incredible
second, I thought it was
support and
Jover
feedback.
too.
I am grateful beyond
I
words.
didn't
The
even
rules
think
are
of the
simple.
calendar.
Comment
I was
on
keeping track
last
of the
week's
turn
video,
count.
and that's it. You don't need to like or subscribe, just a comment on that video. I'll pin the link to it below. Sorry to send you there, it's just hard to collate the amount of comments on multiple videos videos. The second copy will be given to a random member.
Victory.
Both winners will be announced in
That's
June
close enough.
14th's video. I also plan to give back more as the channel grows. I love that I get to be able to do
Oh,
this.
amazing.
Thanks, guys. As always.
Speaking of staying hydrated, stay hydrated. Yes, indeed. How about that? He did a really great job there. That was pretty awesome. I thought he was done for there for a second, but he pulled it off pretty good. Good for him. It's always nice when a challenge it goes well, doesn't it? All right.